Hello and welcome to the show. Today I am back on Ride 2, going to be taking a look at some of the most intricate circuits on this game. There's a really interesting track list for Ride 2. I really do quite like it. And of course, having supermoto bikes, we're going to have a couple of supermoto circuits, and they are pretty damn spectacular. We're going to jump into a quick race here. The Castelletto circuit has got an incredible layout. It really is just a spectacularly technical circuit. And I think I have driven around a slightly simplified version. This version, I think, in a video at some point, but this is a lot, a lot to be contending with there. So, yeah, we're going to go racing here. Now, unfortunately, as much as I would love to, and my initial plan when people wanted me to drive or ride, I should say, the Ninja H2R, as much as I would love to take a bike like this around one of these circuits, the game does not let me. As far as I can find, there's no way to ride anything around here other than the supermoto bikes. If there is a way to break it so that it will let me pick any vehicle, please do let me know, because I would like to do this. However, yeah, unfortunately, it does not quite work like that. So for this one, we are going to have to be riding the proper bikes. We're going to go for a 7-lap race. Rather oddly, when you go to set up the race options, it doesn't let you pick a number of laps. It has predetermined. It's either 1, 3, 7, or 12, I think, were the options. I don't know if it went any higher than 12. I didn't look. Which seems like a weird omission. I was going to go for 5 laps for this race, but it's going to be a little bit of a longer race. Hopefully it won't be too boring a race. I mean, there's plenty to do on a track like this, but yeah, not giving us an option to actually pick the number of laps we want in a quick race seems a little bit on the peculiar side, but never mind. Right, I haven't played this game for a little while. I did a couple of laps just to kind of try and make sure I wasn't too rusty when it came to this, but I apologise if I'm now back to making rookie mistakes. We've got some AIs to contend with on our laps around here, and that was an awful first corner. I was trying to make sure the one thing that's really easy to do with these bikes, especially when you're racing with AIs and you've got overtaking to be worrying about and bumping and barging around, really easy to end up cutting the corner and get yourself a penalty. Now, I'm going to try my very best to avoid doing that. It still may happen at some point. I have left the AI difficulty on medium because I'm not quite sure how rusty I'm going to be in a racing situation. Probably could do it going up in difficulty, but we shall see after this one. KTM crew are ahead of me. I'm going to go round the outside of one of the riders, and now we're into the really nasty infield circuit. We got bumped around and a little bit stuck. Across the jumps we go. Now, there are no dirt tracks for the supermoto bikes, and this is, I believe, the only one with jumps in it. However, it's a new thing to contend with, and then we get into this really narrow section. I mean, I know... Oh, hello there. I know why they don't allow the superbikes to take on this circuit, because, well, this is not really where they would be suitable for. However, this is me we're talking about. I like taking bikes or vehicles to places where they're not suitable for, and the option of taking a superbike across a jump would be appealing to me. Anyway, certainly in a game. Not sure about real life. That would be quite scary, I would imagine. We lost a lot of time through that middle section. In fact, the middle sector did a really good job of spreading everyone out in this in this race. So I guess that's yeah, we can maybe work our way back up. It's going to be quite difficult, I think, to work our way up to the front after a slightly poor start. It's an incredible circuit, this one, though. It's just something different around here. Can we... Well, that's going to get us in trouble, I suspect. Yeah, bloody... Okay, I'm not... If that had been a half a second penalty, then sure. But I'm not... That's a 2... I did not gain 2 seconds for running across that inside bit by accident. It was completely, utterly unintentional, so I am going to make the use of the rewind feature for that one. Yeah, sometimes the penalties are relatively fair. Sometimes they do get a little bit on the crazy side. We're just going to scythe our way up the inside for that place, although it has put me out of position around here. I'm quick through the rest of the lap. It's just the infield section, the actual really technical part where I am slow and losing time. I think I'm just not brave enough with the bike here. Right, oh, okay, we're going to end up in a lot of trouble if we stay out there for too long. Okay, alright, we are into the jumps. I imagine it'll be really easy if you cock up one of these landings to fall off. We're going to try to go around the outside, are we, of the KTM? That would probably be a dumb idea. Probably be a really dumb idea. Oh, we're on the inside. I bounced off the tyre wall. They kind of cut across the grass there, and I'm not sure I would get away with that. So, I am not going to cut across the grass there. I feel like that would be a quick way for me to get a penalty and to get in trouble. So, we're not going to. We've come out of that without losing a position, which is progress. We've almost lost one immediately after that section, but the bike behind us is quite quick through that jumpy section. The KTM's up ahead, struggling a little bit more. But there we go. You can still see the leader, I think, off in the distance. Don't carry too much speed into there. It's really easy when you've been dealing with all of this technical parts of the lap, that one section where you suddenly pick up a lot of speed. Really easy to get carried away. We're going to have a go at the inside. Yep, we're going to get the place. Ha-ha! We are up into fourth. Now try and get this bike slow down for turn one. Don't run across the inside curb. Can't do anything about chasing down these leaders. Oh, slowed through here. I love the wobble that goes on as the try to put the power down on these bikes. Yeah, I don't know why. Is it? It's only really on this layout where they have such big wobbles going on through these corners. We gotta go. Yeah, there we go. We got that. They're just wobbling its way to full power. Can we make a move for third place as we come into the... Oh, that was a lot more speed. I was, happy being faster into that section than the AI wanted to be. Oh, he's going to get the inside, and I'm going to have to yield that one because it's going to put me all out of position. All out of position, big time. Get off the grass, man. Uh-oh, we lost a place. Oh, no. Ugh. I'm going to land that jump really badly. We do not want to be on the grass. We also do not want to be twisted on the landing of these jumps. That is bad. He's going to dive up the inside. Not quite. All of our hard work from that last lap has now been eradicated from a botched overtaking attempt. Oh, that's probably going to get us in trouble. No, okay, it's fine. I would perhaps like a little bit more lenience on a circuit like this as well with those penalties, but there we go. That's just partly an experience from me speaking. Okay. Whew. We are around, and yeah, we are literally about where we were 2 laps ago. That's how it goes sometimes in motorsport. Are we going to be able to do anything into the final corner? Perhaps we can make something happen. No, I kind of changed, transferred weight a little bit too soon and knew I had to back out of that one, otherwise we're going to get in trouble across the curbs. Right. Well, we're back into 5th place. I think 3rd is probably what I'm aiming for at the moment, unless the two leaders do seem to have buggered off the last couple of laps. Unless I do something not as far ahead as I thought they were. Unless they have a tangle. That's always helpful for me if the leaders can have a little bit of an accident. Are we going to get up the inside here? No, we're not. Although maybe with a good run, you can get up the inside of the next corner. Not quite. You got to really think we are going to get it there. There's a little bit of an argy-bargy past that one, but we got it done. You really got to think especially with a circuit like this, on these kind of bikes, you've got to plan your overtaking manoeuvres, because what will put you quick through one corner may well put you slow through the next. So yeah, you've got to really plan ahead for your overtakes. Oh, we changed direction. We got a really big twitch on that landing. Again, I'm not sure I'm liking these penalties going on in that. Again, that did not help me in any way, shape or form. I got a really big twitch on the landing of the jump, and it was a case of either fall off or run across the grass slightly. Now, I'm not sure that is cutting a corner particularly, especially not if you're not using it to gain an advantage, but there we go. I'm guessing there perhaps are ways that you could use it to gain an advantage if you were, trying to get leaderboard lap times and so on, but I don't know. To me, on a circuit like this one, that seems a little bit unnecessary. So we've got to get past 3rd and then get half a second up the road. We can try and manage that one. I mean, again, I would still like to be able to get to the 1st position, but I'm just thinking that is a little bit more on the unlikely side. There is I think it's another blue bike that is, I don't know where it's gone. It was giving me troubles through the jump sections. Now, I don't know if any of these bikes are better through the bumps, if there is a particular type of bike that is faster through there. but then perhaps slower elsewhere around the lap. I don't know if that is a thing, or whether it's just that particular AI is apparently good at that section. I do not know. So I'm closing up massively onto third around here, probably closing up to the leaders a little bit as well around here, although I've slightly buggered up that turn. Now, we haven't got any, I think we haven't got any direct pressure from the bike behind, so I think we can perhaps do our own thing through the jumps a little bit better this time around. And they're just a bit more confident through here, although that was better from me. Across this section we go. We don't want to be too fast across there, otherwise you end up in trouble. But then if you are too slow, it's really easy to clip the tyre bundles on the inside. Alright, oh, I spy a... the leaders did get into trouble. The leaders have got into trouble. I think he must have got stuck. He was in ghost mode briefly and got reset. This is now the race for second place. That suits me, and I know I'm fast into this corner. Oh, hello. Thank you for the assist onto the curb. We are up into a podium spot now as we go chasing after second place. If a first could get stuck and get reset somewhere, make this a four-way battle for the lead, I would be good with that, or across the inside. Yeah, didn't really want to do that. I had no choice because there was a bike in the way. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. Across all of that. Can we go to the outside of turn one? No, that's never going to work. Through there, and he is defending the inside quite heavily. If you can get that line out of there, you kind of straight line the next part of the course. Very, very helpful. Ooh, I come from such a long way back. They are not... I can't carry a lot of speed on the way into these corners. I think they do a better job of getting out of them. I've got to be prepared for that. We're going to go around the outside, get the place, but that'll going to throw us out of position around this next part. I know there's going to be a bike on my inside, so I can't turn in. I have left him a little bit too much space. It's a fantastic battle. I'm thoroughly enjoying this one. Even if I know where we're going to... Yeah, they're really quite slow through that corner. Really quite slow through that turn. And unfortunately now, it's going to back me up into the bike behind for the jump section. Although last time it was better through here. This time not so good. Okay, across the first part we go. And the next part... Oh, I'm all out of shape through there. Yeah, I'm too... If you get one part of that wrong... Ow! Oh, he's fallen off! There's been a collision behind us. That could well be actually what happened too. I mean, he could have been the leader. He could have got run into and knocked off. Yeah, you get out of the rhythm at one point through that section, you are done for. And I know exactly the point where I get thrown out. I'm not actually quick enough across one of the jumps because I'm a little bit cowardly. And in doing that, it puts me all out of place for the next turn. And then I'm faffing about and worrying. And yeah, it's not good. So... that's something to think about on the final lap. We're going to have to close back up to second place. And we do need to get that half a second. If we could get that half a second, that would also be helpful. Okay, one more lap to go on this circuit. As I said, a really cool circuit, this one. Really like the layout. I like the channel. I'd love to see a lot more supermoto circuits on here, but... there we go, that's probably just me. Where are we going to get? I need to get a move done quickly. About here is good. You get a faff about. I know what he's going to faff about with through there, so I'm just kind of going for it. And we made the pass stick. I was at that right point. If you're too close to the bike ahead, when you follow them through a corner, sometimes you can't quite make the most of the opportunities where the other vehicle is slow. The same can be said with cars as well, car racing. You're following too closely. So I was just at that right distance to pounce and carry the speed when I saw a gap. Now, we need to be quick. Through here we go. Now, it's this jump here that I'm taking a little bit too slow. Yeah, that's where they are making the speed up on me. And then, oh no, they get that change there much better than I do. Crap, we've fallen back into third place. Although that is perhaps my worst section of the lap done. Can we find a way past? I know where we're going to have to attack. We're going to have to attack on this next corner. We're going to go for a dive up the inside. We're going to probably run wide on the exit, but we have made it. Now, run away! Run away from the third place bike. I'm pretty fast, I think, through here. I think we can possibly make up some time through this section and then on to the final couple of corners we go. Can I make up enough time, though? to hold on to this second place. Get that power down out of the final turn. Run across the line. It's going to be pretty close, actually, as to whether that's going. I'm still. I think my rider might have fallen off. Hey, I did get second. Fantastic. I was still going to warn myself because I think that was a little bit of a nasty penalty. Oh. That is a track and a half. It is just such an incredible circuit to race around. These bikes are excellent fun. As I said, I think these are some of the most incredible bikes on the game. I would like to see just how close that was with the... oh, it's a little bit more than I expected it to be, perhaps. That was a fantastic, fantastic race indeed. Okay. That was the Castelletto circuit. I really recommend that you do check it out. We are going to go next, though, to somewhere. I am going to go do a couple of time trial laps for this next circuit. We're going to head to Macau. Now, I was really surprised to see this game, this track, sorry, in this game. And we can also go put it in a wet, just to be extra, extra mean. This is a really nasty circuit. This is a really, really nasty circuit for cars, let alone for bikes. And this is perhaps the most technical of circuits that it will let you drive any bike around. So, shall we go completely and utterly balmy? I think so. In the wet, with the H2R, this may not go massively well. This is why I didn't particularly want to race against AIs if I'm going for something this stupidly fast. Yeah, I'm going to be quite cautious. I'm still going to be quite cautious. The difference with being quite cautious on this bike and quite cautious with, let's say, the supermoto bikes is you can be quite cautious with this. In fact, you can be very cautious with this and still have a tremendously high-speed accident. And you just don't quite get that. It's in the same way with the supermoto bikes. If I can complete a lap, I have driven a couple of laps of this circuit with different bikes just to kind of see how they managed out here. If I can complete a couple of laps on this just at half-decent pace, I would be okay. Here we go. Open up the taps on the Ninja. It's just ridiculous. We're up to 200 miles an hour almost before this kink. I don't know how much speed I can take through here. That was a little bit too much anyway. It's so ridiculous. This circuit will forever remind me of PGR 4. I didn't realise when I was playing that game that the locations and so on that used are actually based very heavily on the real world locations. This track, this layout of Macau that is used for the touring cars. I didn't know bikes race here. I'm sure people will correct me if they do. But yeah, this layout that's used for the world touring cars, or was, I don't know if they still go here, was in PGR4. I never realised that. I just thought they'd made up a fictional location. But yeah, it was a genuine replica, and these roads were always the most difficult roads to drive the cars down, let alone drive a crazy, I guess hyperbike would probably be. I mean, this is a bit more than a superbike. I was reading a little bit up about it, and yeah, it's just bonkers. I think the general consensus is pretty much unrideable, trying to get to full throttle. But yeah, I mean that's sometimes what manufacturers come up with. Oh god, these corners are so nasty. Now I have no doubt you could take more speed through these. I'm just being very, very careful with an incredibly powerful bike at a wet, very narrow street circuit. Now, don't clonk into the wall. There we go. And then unleash the taps a little bit, and then slow down for the next corner. First gear is probably a dangerous thing to be doing. Just a little wheelie for you. Just a little wheelie up towards this next corner. This corner here is always a nasty bugger. Never realised just quite how tight it is. Because you always think about the next hairpin that's coming up that is, I think perhaps going to be a little bit awkward getting a normal bike around. How are we going to fare through here? There we go, it's just okay. It's fortunately just about wide enough. There's a horrible hairpin. Fantastic spot to park your cars up when playing Bulldog on PGR4. I do seem to remember that. Everyone who wasn't it would park up there and wait for the tagged car to come towards them, because you had each way you could dive down depending on where the opponent appeared from. Yeah, a horrible turn for bikes. Now again, we can fly our way up some gears, but really slow it down because this next corner is nasty. I apologise for completely missing the apexes on some of these corners. I am a little bit nervous after my experience at the Northwest Circuit with this, just how crazy fast this Kawasaki really is. We're going to get up towards that 200 mile an hour mark. We are going to go on the brakes though for this kink. Yeah, it was a good choice because we nearly ended up in the wall. And again, you know, this in the wet... Oh, I've actually braked way too early. This in the wet is not quite as terrifying as I was expecting it to be. I think because a lot of the corners here are quite medium speed. There's none, well, aside from the hairpin that is very, very tight, we aren't actually having huge problems with putting the power down. That was a little bit shonky from me. Right, we'll go a little bit braver this lap around. I'll try and get to full throttle a little bit more in between this these turns up here. I could really do remembering all of my PGR4 knowledge, remember the layouts of this circuit so I know where we can get away with that little bit more power. Soon as you go to full throttle on this, through these corners, it is straight into a wheelie. Well, that time there, not quite so much. We are going to bounce off the wall. We got away with that one though, because we're going just about slow enough. Yeah, the bike is more than happy. Now that I'm being a tad braver, it is more than happy to slide about. I'm quite impressed that despite all of the craziness that is the H2R, if you are trying to drive it sensibly, you know, I'm being very mindful not to spin the wheels up out of some of these corners. I've driven a lot harder vehicles and so on with their craziness. We're never stopping there though. Disappointing. I apologise. I spotted an opportunity. I went for a little bit of speed and then, yeah, it just picks up speed. Whoa! Second gear dangerous. Second gear very dangerous. Down there. Wasn't quite expecting that. That snapped on me incredibly fast. Yeah, well, as I was saying before, I've now binned it twice. Typical. Good timing from me. This is not quite as savage as I was expecting in some respects. You know, being that little bit careful with it is surprisingly easy. Surprisingly easy to be careful and not upset everything. As you are trying to go faster, you got to run that line, you run that risk a little bit more. But I wasn't expecting it to be quite as easy to be controlled with it, if that makes sense. Slow down before we end up in that wall. There we go. A little bit of a bump. You get the idea though of the Macau circuit. It's fascinating place to race bikes around, and you can take the crazy powerful stuff here. I wish, and I hope that there is some way that I do not know about to get these bikes to the supermoto tracks, because I would love to have a go at racing them there. However, this is the closest that you are going to be getting with them. Whoa, that's probably not going to end well if I do that too much, because I'm terrible at balancing the wheelies on this game. Yeah, it's actually not as terrifying as I was expecting around here in some ways. I'm really bad at balancing the wheelies on this on this game. Definitely give it a try. If you haven't spent much time with the supermoto bikes, you might have been tempted to do other stuff because there is so much to do on here. Go and give them a try, especially around that Castelletto circuit. It is incredible. And then if you want to take a terrifyingly fast superbike around a very narrow street circuit, Macau is very much your best bet. However, that is going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.